From the Twitch and YouTube community. This is going to be a tutorial on how to replicate a Raftclan. My apologies, a Raftclan from the Super Robot Wars Judgment and or Moon Dwellers. There's many of them. The two best qualities I could find as far as image goes, whoops, that's a back picture, is the Aurum, followed by Alvan, and that one which belongs to the Fulamilu. And I know that one is not a proper word. Bite me couldn't find the name proper. There are two more Raftclans out there that I know of, which are the one you can pilot yourself as you earn it at your fourth playthrough of the game, which is blue. And then you have the red one, piloted by Jamu, which you can see in Super Robot Wars, the Moon Dwellers, and Judgment. He has it regardless. Although it becomes his main mech in Judgment, where he only has it once in Moon Dwellers. So, remove those. Let's get to that. The mech I'm using right now, my Vedic in Kyrios, to the Raftclans. We're gonna start with the very basic. Raftclans uses a sword that becomes a gun. The closest thing I could find that would somewhat fit the shape, keyword here is somewhat, is gonna end up being the Caledfwlch. Caledfwlch also ends up becoming a rifle, which granted changes the shape completely, but yeah, it's a great sword and it's a gun. I figured, you know what, it's the closest thing I can get to. I tried using a GN sword, it just doesn't look the same. So yes, I do welcome the Gen sword though. If you guys want to customize it further, one thing that needs to be said: Super Robot Wars bangs on the fact you can add and remove equipment on your mech. So by all means, feel free to freestyle. So, Caledfwlch for both the gun and the melee weapon. Head, you will want to use yourself an Akatsuki. My bad. For the body, we will be using the Build Strike Gundam. You want to use that as an HG, same for the Akatsuki head, by the way. My bad for missing to mention that one. Arms, you will want to use the Gundam X Master Grade. The shoulder here is a clincher. I'll get more of that later, I promise. The legs, you will want to use the gold frame Amatsu Mina. I know the spikes on the feet are not the best, and some people might come here and say, dude, you need to use the Gundam Deadside Hell. Herein lies the problem with the Deadside Hell, that's the knees. I'm gonna try and show it to you guys so you get a pretty good idea of what I mean, however. The image is word 1,000 words. So, confront, Gundam, there we go, Deadside Hell. Deadside Hell, although has a skirt, it's somewhat alright with this, and make your foot spikes, the knees are completely in the way. Yeah. And then there's the whole leg pattern. The Deadside Hell legs don't have that added plating that seems to be going from top to bottom with the legs. I just can't use that in good mind because of this. And that's present on every Raftclans I've taken a look into. So yeah, this is why we will not be using the Deadside Hell legs. With that explained, we will be moving to the backpack. Now, as far as the backpack goes, there's a little catch with this. As you can see, there is the back of the skirt is, well, very similar to the Qubeley. And I know Qubeley is not the most beautiful, especially the way it comes out, but you'll have to bear with me for this one. I swear it gets alright. In use, that thing is also pretty decent. So, yep. With that said, we'll be going with the shield. Now, I'm sure a ton of you already guessed the first time when they saw the picture. This thing, there's only one shield in this game that can fit this, and it turns out the shield this mech uses also is a claw that he uses for the melee. And what's his Kyrios shield? A bloody claw! So we'll be putting this on always left arm. Change that to my left arm. Now I'm going to tell you guys, here on onward, all the option parts, all their measurements, and the shield's measurement as well. So for the shield real quick, X positioning at minus 63. Not bad. There we go, minus 63. You will want its rotation, X once again, to be at minus 11. Positioning of Y and Z as well as the rotation shall remain neutral. And there we go, we shall return you to neutral, we're neutral, alright. And the scaling will be topped up at 134. There we go, 134. I'm pretty sure if I remove all the currents, there we go. Now you guys can judge a bit, and as you can see, it's, granted it's just a picture, but hey, it's about the good size. I'm not going overboard with this yet. Now, quick disclaimer, and I'm sorry I didn't say that in the first place. One of the parts used to make a skirt for this model is a DLC. Only one of them. And it's just on the front skirt. The back skirt is already covered thanks to the backpack we'll be using. Other than that, anybody else can make this. So without further ado, I give you the builder part setup. But be warned, we're going to be using every one of these 7 slots. First parts, we'll be using the Mega Particle Cannon on the first body slot. And its first emplacement as well. So, buddy, Mega Particle Cannon. Why a Mega Particle Cannon? 2 reasons. Number 1, we need to make that rectangular punch bearing part on the chest, and this actually opens up to, well, a cannon. There's a laser cannon he uses for a map attack, so yeah, let's go with that. Positioning is as follows. X is neutral, 160 for Y, 160, there we go, 38 for Z. Oop, we're done. Alright, now moving to rotation, fellas. You'll want to have 196, and that's all for X. Everything else is, oops, negative. Oh yeah, one thing that is worth mentioning. This, just like that, can sort of work. It'll depend on people. Some people are going to want to basically rotate the thing to be more homogeneous, to be a straight design. So I will leave it up to the builder, to whoever wants to make this spec and or improve on it to make me look bad. I don't mind, guys. I would love to see this design made better. Oh yeah, back to macro topic. You can leave it like that, and or you can crank a rotation X at 196, which will give you a straight approach bearing part. Granted, there's no special delimitation in the middle that you can see here with the Raftclans Aurum, but it's honestly the best I could manage. So, yep, scale it up to 10, and you're pretty much done. That's about it. Now we'll be moving to jewel parts. So the first one is going to be the back cannon that the Raftclans uses. Large beam launcher that will be attached to the backpack. So scale that all the way down. Leg, right leg, backpack, backpack both sides. And we're going to be fetching the large beam launchers from the H3 Fortress. Circle and let's go. You'll want, just make sure I'm giving you the good stuff. Yeah, it's the good stuff. Minus 150 for X. Perfect. You'll want 144 for Y. 57 for Z. Rotation with X is going to be at 36. No, minus 36. My bad. And now its scaling is going to be at minus 78. As for Y, I would scale it down. Well, I invite you to look at the whole cannons he uses. They're pretty small, and, well, I don't want to say skinny, but yeah, they're not that large. So, yeah, depending on what pictures or what build I see, they're either angled and ready to be used, or they're in straight line. I will leave that, sorry, I will leave that detail once again to the builder. You guys, you will do you. But for the sake of this run, I'll be trusting the pictures from the latest game. So, yep. Not bad. There we go. I'll be trusting that one design. So, we're done with the cannons. Boom. Next one is going to be the arms. As you've seen with it, the shoulder plate actually has a part that goes downward. It completes it. So we'll be working on that with knee thrusters. Once again, on both arms. So, if you're willing to stay with me on that one. Alright, ready? Wrong button again. My bad. Scroll up. We want both arms. So I'm there. And we're going to scroll down all the way to knee thrusters. You'll want the knee thrusters to be on your number 1 both arm placements. With that said, X remains neutral. Minus 300 for Y, however. And minus 2 for Z. Then we move on to rotation. You want 6 on X. You will want 100 on Y. So, and literally 300 on Z. With a scaling of minus 161 to have them become parts of the actual arms. So, there we go. Now that we're done with that little part, we got the arms, we got the chest. This is where I would say, do we go for a perfect looking head, which I think would demand at least 3 slots. We don't have that. Or we give ourselves a proper front skirt to fit what the actual Raftclan has. If you take a little peek at it, he has an actual front skirt. Now I'm not going to be able to reproduce the exact same thing with all the curved armor going upward, going downward, but I can come to something somewhat similar using the Armed Armor XC. This is the actual DLC part we're using, and it's added armor from the Unicorn Gundams. The Banshee there, I think. I wouldn't be able to say right now, but we'll be able to confirm upon the rubbing it apart. We're going for both legs, by the way. Armed Armor XC. The exact shit allows you to use NTD. I don't think this unit will be able to basically play the NTD, but that's me not knowing my mechanics proper, and my apologies, that's me a terrible player. I am but a filthy casual trying to make your enjoyment somewhat more prevalent. My apologies to the bad wording. X at 49. Y at minus 300 and Z at 174. 470, 74, there we go. Rotations, minus 4. X. Minus 205 for Y. And lastly, you'll want minus 21 for Z. Scaling wise, we'll be going at minus 141. As for them obviously being in the wrong place right now, were we not, press R1 a bunch of time and voila, you get to both leg first on placement, and they're now fitting as an actual front skirt. Once again, it's not all that curvy, but as you can see, it's the actual placement are not bad. It is basically what it's supposed to be. So with that said, we'll press circle one last time. Go to action real quick. If I can just allow one little quick whip. As I said, I will be doing the Raftclan Orum, which basically focuses on being a sword fighter first and a gunner last. Razor Sword is a good reference to the fact that he has this humongous blade made out of crystal coming out of the gun as it splits into 2. and he basically rushes at people. I don't want to say a comical fashion. It's actually pretty badass the way they animated it, but in concept, it's borderline Gurren Lagann ridiculous. So, Razor Sword, I would recommend, for the simple fact that they like to make clones of themselves. They shoot multiple times, they slash multiple times with those clones. Then on the crystal, Spectral Shot, although you don't divide yourself in 3, you do divide the gun in 3, if that's somewhat in the spirit of the Raftclan, I guess. After you've got Spectral Shot, Razor Sword, part of me wants to say you could use the Twin Beam Rifle Slash from the Gundam Thunderbolt, full armor type, from, well, yeah, Gundam Thunderbolt. Let's see, what else did I recommend? Honestly, from there on, any skill you can think of, from Dead and Impact to Strike Stream to you name it, you can use. Once again, you can heavily customize any unit this game has when it comes to Super Robot Wars. You can give them weaponry, you can take out weaponries. Yeah. So, now we're done with both skills and setup. How about we take a little stroll down the alleyway of painting? I'm gonna tell you guys what 5 colors you need, and then we're gonna apply them each piece by piece. That way you'll know what to do. Just a moment of loading. Also, hey there, Axel Crow. My apologies, I won't be interacting much with the chat right now as I am making this guide. So, here are the 5 colors you'll need for this reproduction. You'll need a murky green with the following specs. We are speaking here 39 brightness, 85 red, 99 green, and 85 blue. Oop. You'll need yourself a darker green of the following specs. 16 brightness, 23 red, 40 green, 23 blue. You'll need yourself, whoop, there we go, a white of the following setup. My bad, I am pressing some of the wrong buttons here. 77 brightness and 196 for all 3, red, green, and blue. Oop, that's noted. You'll need yourself a popping orange. We'll be using that color mostly for the fins and small detail, as shown in the back. God damn! The following measure supplies: 100 brightness, 55 red, 152 green, and 8 blue. Lastly, you have a black, which is basically pure black. So, whoop. Well, I said pure. You can't make it pure, you can make it that. For the sake of still being a tidbit green, however, I would recommend just playing with that notion. 21 brightness, 51 red, 49 green, 49 blue. It's still pretty much dark, but majorly green in essence, which is what we're going for. Might be. Now, one last detail that I want to mention about the coloring that will be left once again to the builder. The sword we're using, the Caledfwlch, that does both melee and ranges. Depending if you're going to be prioritizing melee over range, you might want to leave it mostly green instead of white. However, should you want to go for accuracy of model, he shoots from the white and orange part when it comes to his sword, so I guess leaving it with that color palette would be what you'd be waiting for. Ooh. But totally on to you. I am not here to tell you exactly how to color that. Well, no, that's bullshit. That's exactly what I'm doing. I just contradicted myself. You do have some freedom. I'm not the boss of you. That's what I meant to say. Now, enough of my pointless rambling. Let's get to the coloring. All glow part of your unit will be from the 6th row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First green. Bam. Oops. There we go. All caution mark are sorry. 4th row. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th orange. Same applies to all of your option parts. There we go. That's some easy detail we can set right away. Weapon. As I said, the first one can be either white or green. For sake of accuracy, I'll put it white. But don't feel bad about saying, It's one of those nebulous area the game doesn't have some of the special parts needed for that matter. Second color is going to be a murky, a darker green, my bad. And the third color is actually a dark. Oops. I pressed the wrong button. God damn, what is wrong with me today? Thank you. Alright, third color is actually black. Just a hilt. Fourth is actually orange, as shown above. Black once again. And then we move out, if I recall proper, to once again white or green. It's going to depend on what's your primary color here. So for the sake of being actually accurate, I'll put it white. So, now that we're done with that, we'll move on to the head. Head is actually a lighter tone of green, a white face mask, a darker green for the chin. The V and the antennas are a darker green as well. Under the eyes, to be fair, I can't see proper, but it seems to be dark. So until proven otherwise, darker green or outright blackness. This is where I try to reproduce the fins, though I could understand if you went with a darker green yourself. So for the sake of accuracy, fins are orange, so... Oh yeah, well, I'll say fins. They're more like vents. But the units, you guys can know what I'm speaking about here. Boom! Now that we're done with the vents and the head, we'll be moving on to the body. Body-wise, you will want to have yourself a light green. From there on, you'll want to use darkness. Some of that blackness. There we go. You'll want to use here a darker shade of green. For the fins, you'll want to use a popping orange, and for that collar-like pieces that goes around the head and all around the torso, I recommend a lighter shade of green. Once again, you can look at the picture and know for yourself what I mean here. The color is actually of that lighter shade, and it covers the head and some of the parts around the body. So I figured, hey, color accuracy. That's something we can do. Now, moving on to the actual protubering part. Main part of the body, main color here was that lighter green, so I suggest you use that. Should you have left it open, however, I suggest you go for the darker shade of green, right there. You the boss, but yep, that's what I suggest. Now that we're done with the bodies and the functional part, we'll move to the arms. Arms are as follow here. You'll want to use a lighter with two dark first, so lighter, dark, dark. You'll want to fire up a lighter, dark, and orange, I think, at the end. So, lighter. Darker. And darker again. I don't know why I said orange. Also, I guess, quick disclaimer, you can, in a way, because most of our weapons are going to hide it. You could go white if you intended for supreme color accuracy here. On the picture once again. You're supposed to have white at the edge of your shoulders. The one reason I'm holding back on that is due to the fact that it also colors down the arm guards you have. I'm not too keen on that, so I've honestly been debating with myself. So for this video, I'll be using the darker green. Now for the optional part we have here to complete the shoulders. Darker green is an obvious, and for color accuracy here, we can go white without disturbing anything. Sort of makes sense. Until you consider the fact that the thruster should be inward and not outward. But yeah, I'm trying, guys. Austin's trying. This is not the easiest of design to do. So, Went on with the arms, moving down to the legs. The legs. So first thing first. Lighter shade of green. Lighter shade of green. Swords are of a darker shade of green. Or complete blackness. Your call. Second color here is gonna have to be black. Or was it... No, darker shade of green actually. And we end up with orange. And the foots, as I'm sure you've guessed, pure black. Now for the optional part, the skirt. That one's actually pretty easy. B, 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 B. Oh, don't touch that one. All the darker green. Now we're done with that. Moving to the backpack. Backpack, I'm gonna pop a back picture for y'all so that you can get a good idea once again. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, you're supposed to have a white outline, bit of orange, and the rest is completely black. We can't do that with the Qubeley, although it has a similar shape, so I suggest going with the following: black, white for the slits, black, is that the other part? Yeah. For the other part, I almost suggest a darker green just to fit better with the legs. The rest should be black, as far as I'm concerned. So, now that we're done with the backpack, oop. Just a little bit, there we go. We're gonna go to the optional part here, the cannons. When you look at the cannons, it's mostly what I believe to be dark green or darkness. Depends how you take it, but there seems to be a finite amount of color. And you can really see the actual nozzle of the cannon pop out. Quick look at the picture here, and yeah, there you go. And the detail seems to be in popping orange. Done so? This finally brings us down to the shield. I'm gonna put the picture of the Raftclan again real quick. For the shield. Whoa, whoa, oops. I took the wrong one. I would dare say first part is black. Second part is darker green, as well as the third one. And finally lighter green for the middle. I don't know how to reproduce that orange patch at the very back of the shield. That's on me. Sorry guys. If you want to turn down the caution mark for obvious reasons, feel free to do so. However, I don't know. Should I, would I, should I, would I, should I, would I? You've seen that. That's it. And that pretty much concludes how to build the Raftclans. For those if you want added details. Part of me is tempted to say, go with 30, it's the magical number. 30 metallic for an example. Oops, my bad, let's scroll it down. 30 washing to darken the colors a bit. Full airbrush, no question here. That's the one thing I never let go. 30% chipping and 30% damage. So now upon close inspection, it seems actually battle work. You've been places, you've done stuff. And there you go, you have your very own Raftclan aura. I hope that guide was worth your time, guys, and I hope I didn't disappoint too many people. But let's face it here, Raftclan aura is definitely not an easy build. Of all the things to bloody tackle, that one sort of had me scratching my head for a while. Do I really show you guys that one? Is it worth your time? Or you're gonna love it? I didn't do really well. So, yep. That's the Raftclan aura. Now for the upcoming builds. Eventually I'm gonna have to complete them. By eventually probably mean tomorrow. Or hell, maybe tonight. We'll be either forking over Flickering Geist or the El Chevalier, which you can see is almost complete. I was lacking a bunch of DLC parts to actually make that one shine. Also, the back burner, you've seen nothing, but I also have a Chrono. Synergy stand is complete, but more on that later. There's a little problem I have it with me. Well, yeah. So, yep. Meet y'all later in the game, guys, and have a good day.